2 to 3 BYU-Idaho performing arts groups travel outside of Idaho, showcasing the university's talented students. This spring, 46 student musicians traveled to the Pacific Northwest as part of the BYU-Idaho Symphony Band to perform for audiences across Washington and British Columbia, Canada. This year's program, entitled Symphonic Soundscapes, featured works from world-renowned composers like George Gershwin, to the popular sounds of The Wizard of Oz, as well as familiar hymns of The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, like Let Us All Press On.
I loved hearing about Let Us All Press On, that this was an arrangement made especially for your band.
Tour stops included Duncan, British Columbia on Vancouver Island, Maple Ridge, British Columbia, just outside the sprawling metro area of Vancouver, as well as Federal Way in Olympia, Washington, near Seattle. A special Sunday evening musical devotional was also held at the Bellingham Stake Center.
I absolutely thought it was the most amazing thing, just because, we don't get a lot of things like this around here, and it's so, it just touched my heart a lot that they would want to come all the way to the PNW.
While on tour, students were able to learn about Canadian history while visiting the Legislative Assembly of British Columbia in Victoria, and experience the beauty of the Pacific Northwest inside the world-famous Bouchard Gardens. While biking around Stanley Park and crossing a 15-story high suspension bridge in Lynn Canyon filled the students' day with fun activities, they say the highlight of the tour was connecting with the audiences.
2-3 days ago, I would have said it's the nature walks or whatever, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, it's been seeing the light and smiles on these people's faces as we've performed and after we've performed.
I think my favorite part was getting to know everyone else that was also on tour, and then definitely playing for everybody and just seeing them find so much joy in the music that we're playing. I think we definitely made a difference.
Students shared how performing the same repertoire night after night on tour helped them improve as musicians.
So it's been really fun to try and get consistently better with each performance and try and stay on my A game, because that's hard to do, to stay focused for so long, especially after being exhausted while traveling. So I think that'll really help me moving forward to remember this experience.
But the students say they were not just refined as musicians, but as disciples of Jesus Christ.
I think all of us have grown closer together and discovered each other's testimonies and how we discovered how much we rely on Jesus Christ.
Through music and through sharing it with others, I have felt the Lord's love for me as we play. And I think also just being surrounded by other people who love music as much as me and also love the Lord. I've learned a lot through my colleagues and through my teachers on this tour.
And the testimonies of the students could be seen and felt by the audience.
I myself went to BYU-Idaho many years ago. It was called Rick's at that time. But I remember the very special feelings and experiences I had.
In addition to playing for the public in beautiful performance halls, the band also visited Lake Stevens High School in Washington to workshop with the students and share what it's like to continue developing as a musician while working on their university studies. Samantha Schurig, who has already accepted her offer to BYU-Idaho for the coming fall, was thrilled to have the band visit her own high school.
And this is surreal, like an answered prayer, might I add.
But Samantha says she didn't just benefit from the visit as a future BYU-Idaho student.
I think my classmates seeing college kids also continue and to have that in their life, maybe that will prompt them to continue in the future.
And it wasn't just the high school students that benefited from the exchange. Connecting with the high school students was a highlight of the tour.
It was really fun to watch them play and then see how excited they were about us playing. So that was really inspiring, and now I'm excited to be a band teacher someday.
My
teaching philosophy going into teaching is going to be making sure every student that comes into my classroom loves music, and I got to do that over the week.